Hello and welcome to Baseplate Reviews. I recently took a look at set 40574 LEGO Brand Store, which is seemingly only available in physical LEGO stores here in North America, but apparently you can buy online in Europe. I thought this was perfect for enclosing and modularising, so I'll show you what I got up to here. So I said I planned on modularising the LEGO store set, and I think you can see I've gone and done it. This is a fully enclosed 16 stud wide building now, and unlike my custom grocery store that I've got in the city, this has actually got its own roof with a little bird sat over there and a butterfly just there. I've also added in a back door, and you might be able to see behind the door and also from this side build with those grey bits just there, I've actually built a staircase as well up to the second level instead of people having to use that ladder as it was when the set originally came, and not a full modular. It's fully enclosed. What I'll do is I've taken some pictures. I will talk you through each of the levels. For the roof, this is just simply a 16 by 16 grey plate with some bricks and tiles to build it up a little and make it look vaguely architectural. I was happy for this to be a flat roof, as I'm very much thinking the LEGO store sits in a modern-ish building. From the original set, I moved the pick-a-brick wall up to the second level, so we've now got that and the minifigure factory both upstairs, and I've kept those great mini builds in the windows as they were. The issue that I did have here is that with the staircase now coming up, I needed to put a guardrail around so minifigures didn't plummet through the gap, and that does mean that even though this level is now enclosed, I didn't really gain much in terms of floor space. Similarly, for the ground floor, even though I've increased the depth by 2 studs, that staircase meant that I didn't really gain any floor space and had to move the pick-a-brick wall upstairs. The stairs are rock solid thanks to being built into the side of the wall using a really simple technique, and I chose to make them alternate between grey and white, just like the floor tiling on the second level. Otherwise, I've tried to keep the ground floor similar to how it was before, except for making sure there are more studs on the floor in order to be able to place minifigs. The other notable thing with the ground floor is that I raised the ceiling height by 2 bricks, so that it sat at a more regular height with other buildings and didn't feel so enclosed. I think LEGO stores mostly have a pretty high ceiling in them anyway, so I think it's appropriate. I think the best thing about this build is actually how cheap it is. The original set 40574 LEGO Brand Store is $37 US, and I've not had to add really many pieces at all, with the plate for the roof being the most expensive, and that goes for $2.61 from pick-a-brick on lego.com. I would guess that for all the extra parts I've used, we'd be looking at less than $20 extra, so you're getting a fully enclosed mini-modular 16 by 16 LEGO store for under $60. It of course doesn't match up to the detail of actual modular buildings, but at that price I'd argue that if your city is even somewhat modern in style, that this could be considered an essential addition. It's easy to do differently than I did it, but I would say that the original set is such a good starting point, it's arguable as to whether you'd want to go too radically different from it. So there we go, placed in the city, in between the grocery store and Assembly Square. I did have to do a tiny bit of modification to the store, because on the side with the wall facing or against Assembly Square, we had the tile coming off it with the kind of LEGO poster, the sticker, and that just meant it couldn't sit flush, so switched that out for just a regular wall piece. And I think that now we're starting to see the city come together a bit more, as we can see here. Now, job that I have got to do is just to bring the wall in around the park, just to make more space for the sidewalks there. That's going to be one of the next things to do. But on top of that, we've also got to do a roof for the grocery store, or potentially even a second level, maybe apartments or an office up above it. And then we'll really be getting going. So now that we've got the mini-modular LEGO store in there and forming the alleyway that I wanted, I suppose the next question is, what do I work on next? I'm probably keener to adapt existing LEGO sets than go completely from the ground up, so are there any sets out there that you'd like to see me amend and incorporate into the city? Let me know in the comments below if you've any ideas. I'd got plans for the recent Lunar New Year set, which is basically a fancy Chinese restaurant, plus the Creator 3-in-1 set Downtown Noodle Shop. But it appears everyone and their nan has just made mocks of those two, so I might leave it for a bit. Other than that, I've got the Super Mario Piranha Plant display set yet to build, and I'll get that done and a review up pretty soon. It helps that I've got the IKEA shelving built now just outside of the LEGO room, and that's ready to start being filled up with display sets. As a side note to that, has anyone seen any reasonable prices for acrylic display cases? I was looking for one for the soccer stadium I've got, and prices seem outrageously expensive for some clear plastic. Anyway, back to the mini-modular LEGO store, and I hope you enjoyed that and think that it makes a good addition to the as yet unnamed city. If you did like the video, please drop a like and consider subscribing if you haven't already, and as always, be good.